We just talked about how there's 6 transitions nowadays in a modern adult life. And at each of those transitions, it's good to have a moment where you sort of sit back and you think, hey, what's coming next? And so we've designed this thing we call an Odyssey plan, which is really a little bit of a misnomer because we don't believe so much in planning, but we believe a lot in having ideas, ideation. So what an Odyssey plan is a sort of a brainstorm about how might my life work going forward, maybe 5 years or 10 years, and coming up with all the elements that would make that life rich and fulfilling. And it's important to do it because if you plan for nothing, you're going to get nothing. And if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit nothing, right? So having at least some kind of an ideation about what would it be like if my life worked on this particular plan, and what would happen with me, my family, my friends, and my career. It's a really good way to just take a moment and sort of visualize how would my life be at this transition point. And we talked about the different transitions. So certainly when you leave college, there's a big transition. There's a transition in your 20s and 30s when you've had your first job and maybe you want to pivot or try something new. There's a transition in your 50s and 60s when you're thinking about moving to an encore career or a new career. And at each of those points, it's great to have a tool like the Odyssey plan to figure out, hey, what might be next? It's not a specific A equals B equals C, kind of a plan. It's more of a brainstorm on how might my life unfold if these things were true. So there's an old expression, and I think it comes from Dwight Eisenhower, who was a general and then he became the president of the United States just before Kennedy. And he was famous for saying, planning is everything, but the plan is nothing. And what he meant was getting ready and planning and thinking about all the possibilities kind of gets you set up for the next stage. But there's also another military expression that no plan of battle survives first contact with the enemy, right? So no matter whatever you planned, when you actually get into the field and you get it going, you got to be ready for anything. We reframe that in the life design class, because we aren't military, as no plan for your life survives first contact with reality. Because stuff happens, right? But having a plan sort of makes you feel like you are ready to engage. And so that's what we take from that quote.